Johann, mate, welcome back to the show. You're one of the OGs of this podcast. Mate, you don't even know what you started yourself, right? You were someone, I tell this story every single time. My business started because of the thing that you did to me after an interview. And that sounds really bad. But
I was like, whoa. Go on.
But for context, everyone, Johann said to me after an episode, he said, there's a bit about email marketing in there, Tim, where I doubled the business in like 2 weeks by using this one subject line. Tim, can you give it to me? I then went, oh man, I've got assignments around the corner. I've got exams. I'm studying marketing. Geez, like it takes time to watch for this episode. You just pulled out your wallet. You gave me $200 and you said, here, do it. Very quickly, it went up my priority list. I called my uncle and I said, hey mate, I just got paid to do an interview, and the rest is history. So yeah, that was a really, really cool story. We then planned it. I then came back with an idea, and you've mentored me ever since. So thank you, and thank you for, it's because of you that everyone wants to listen to this show.
No, all I did was just, it was going to be born either way. We just sped it up to get there. I think you have a great message. I think you add massive value to the marketplace. There's people who I've connected you to who always come back to me and go, Tim's freaking amazing. And I'm like, yeah, and Tim's always overloaded now. And I told you just the other day, I said the reason you're overloaded is because you're charging too little, because it's a supply and demand thing. And when you're doing great work at a lower price, everybody wants a piece of you. And so you need to start upping your prices, right? That's the conversation we had the other day.
100%.
But either way, I go off track. What I'm saying is you do an amazing job. Everybody loves you. And well done on the success that you've now achieved.
Thanks, mate. Thank you. And pricing is actually a really interesting one because we're going to probably touch on that today. But throughout my journey, I've told you, oh, this is what I'm charging. Every single time you laugh and you say, Tim, that's not enough. Actually, the first time I said it, you actually got a little bit angry with me. You said, no, check out this guy. This guy's Nick. This is what he's charging.
Who is now a business partner of yours?
He's now a business partner of mine. Yeah. which is very cool. To get into the question, I always like asking an impact question, and I want to change the one because we had a chat the other day with a friend of mine, Prashant, and you were saying how you invoiced or you made $250,000 in one day. And this was sort of the origin of your business and working your business. Can you tell the audience that story of how you made $250,000 in one day?
It's way more than 250, but yes, we'll start there.
Well, sorry.
It's all good. We'll get through the story. So one of my friends, and so we'd been suppliers of his. So he would buy the services from us, and we would white label it, put his name on it, etc. And so that's how that would work. So that's a relationship we had for about 5 years. And then one day I realized he'd stopped ordering from us. We have 36 of these guys who order from what we have essentially is a white label agency. And so called him up. I said, what's going on? You don't like me anymore? You've stopped ordering from me. He said, it's not that. It's my business partner's terminal, and I'm just running around trying to do everything, and I can't sell at the pace that I was selling before, and I'm just running on fumes, etc. I said, so what are you going to do with the business? He said, well, I'm going to shut it down. I said, shut it down? You've been in business for 18 years. What are you going to do after you shut it down? He said, I'm going to get a job. I said, mate, you can't get a job. You're unemployable. So he said, oh, okay, like I don't have any alternatives. What can I do? I said, well, okay, let me look at the business. Let me see if I might be open to buying it. So I said, let me see the books. He's like, yep, sure, okay. So we have a look at the books, and on the books is 4,000 blue chip companies. I'm like, holy moly, like this guy's got a golden goose sitting right here. And out of those 4,000 clients, 800 of them were blue chip companies. Blue chip meaning national brands, big mega multi-million-dollar companies that rare as hen's teeth to get access to. And so I said, You've got everything here. How about this is the offer that I'll make. So we did a managed buyout. This is the offer I'll make for your book, because I don't need any of it. This is infrastructure because I've built all the infrastructure, right? So I just need access to the book. And for the book, this is the value. This is the agreement. Would you like it? Yes. And with that agreement, it's, hey, come work with me for the next 6 months. And if you like working in the company, you can buy into the company. And he said, yeah, sure. It sounds like a plan. So I said, okay, we looked at the books. There was 800 blue chip clients. I said, okay, let's organize a meeting with these two, because it was meant to be a 6-month handover. So these are the first two we approach. The first one we go to, it's a mining company. Now this guy has sold between $10,000 to $15,000. I can't remember the actual number, but around there in total services over the last couple of 5 years. And so he said, okay, yeah, we go in there and I understand everything that they need, and we walk out of there with a $30,000 a month contract, which is $360,000, right? And he's like, I've only ever sold them $15,000 and we just $360. Look, what? This is mind-blowing. The second meeting, of which was half an hour later, we go in and it's a parts manufacturer. And we walk out of there with a $200,000 app build. And this guy goes, oh my God, Jan, did we just make, $500,000 in a day? I go, no, we made $500,000 in 2 hours. That's only, that's not even half a day just yet. So, that's basically how the business started off. And here we are, I bought that business in 2019. It's now 2022. So yeah, that's the origins of that business.
I think what you did there that a lot of people actually need to understand is you get paid in proportion of the problems that you will solve. You get paid in proportion. The harder the problem is, the more you'll get paid. What you did was you went in not to sell a widget or sell a $15,000 thing. You just went in and asked what the problems were. And then the problems added up to $500,000. That's my summary of that. But yeah, we'd love your opinion.
Most people, let's say they're a digital Facebook ads agency. They're going to go and sell you Facebook ads as the solution to everything. I go into every meeting with, I'm not important. Nobody cares that I'm here. It's they have problems. How can I help them solve their problem? What is the main problem? What's keeping them up at night? And when you understand that, I don't even have to have the service. I don't go into any meeting with any pre-context of what I'm going to sell people. I'm there to understand what their problem is and who can solve it. If my company can solve it, or any of my other companies can solve it, that'll be great. Or if we can't, I will make a referral to somebody who can. Just today, I was talking to a friend and colleague, and so then he said, I've got this problem, and it's nothing that my company can sell. I said, you know what? I know the exact person who can fix you up. And then this is the person. I made an introduction, added them on Facebook Messenger together. They're talking, that contract's worth probably $100,000 to her. And so she called me up afterwards going, how did you just hand this over? I said, I can't fix his problems. I know you can. Go for it. Do what you got to do. So that's just how it is.
That feels great. That feels great connecting people. I'm a connector. Another friend of ours, Jace, he's a connector, right? And it's great to do connections, but we can't just go around making connections and not earning any money. One of the things you told me was don't feel embarrassed for going, hey, I made the connection. Am I going to get paid? Can you explain that for us? Because so many people, someone listening to this might be a really great connector and they might have put people in the room, and then that business explodes because they put the people in the room.
Exactly.
And then they're sitting there going, hang on, right? So how do we do that in a way? And here's the question. How do we do that in a way? So if someone's sending me referrals, how do I acknowledge that from a financial perspective, but also not cheapen the deal? Because I know they don't send it to me for the kickback, but the kickback will be the reason why they continue to do it.
100%.
So can you,
Yeah, for sure. So back in the day, I used to make referrals to people all day long. And these people, their relationships would blossom and they would make tons of money, and I'd probably get a box of chocolates for the introduction, right? I was like, interesting. So then one day I said to somebody, hey, how would you feel if I made introductions to you and you had to pay me 10%? They said, geez, that removes the cost of my BDM. That means I don't have to spend money on advertising. You are out there talking to people all day long. Your referrals, word of mouth, is worth way more than, me trying to convert people through traditional marketing and advertising. I said, cool. Here's the deal. Anybody I send you, 10% back to me. That's the agreement. And when I do the deal with somebody, I say, hey, I'm going to introduce you to Tim. Just letting you know. He gives me 10%. And he doesn't add it on to your thing. He takes it out of his side. And that's just how much his service is. Go shop around. If you don't like Tim, shop around. Go check it out. His prices are very competitive. And most of the time they'll go, cool. They understand that, hey, there's a referral fee that's created. And I say, I'm going to do the same thing to you. If I love your business, I'm going to refer clients to you. If you want to, we can go into this agreement where, hey, I'll refer. And by the way, I refer people to everybody anyway. But if we have a referral agreement, I'm going to be more like they're going to be top of mind. Make sense?
And that's the key, right? Top of mind positioning. It's the first thing I was taught in my marketing degree. What can you do to put yourself top of mind of anyone that you talk to? And so many people get it wrong. They think, oh, I need to put my advertising out there. I need to pay branding. I need to do all of this kind of stuff. But these are the ways that actually grow a business, is referral, partnership, joint ventures, and relationships. I don't have a website. We've joked about that, right? But I've invoiced for the most I've ever invoiced this last month just by going and doing sales, relationships, networking, joint 100%.
Ventures. Most businesses, I'd say 95% of businesses rely on word of mouth referrals. And word of mouth referrals indicates that the person that they're talking about is going to vouch for them, is putting their name on the line. Because if I'm sending someone to you and saying, go to Tim to get all your stuff done, and they have a bad experience, they're not going to tell you about it. They're going to tell me about it. And that's my problem. That's my credibility. That's my issue. Therefore, I will never, ever refer anybody who I know is going to do a subpar job. And so you need to experience the service, which you and I have. You need to have trust that the person will stay up at night and get the job done if they have to. And the person's going to end up being a raving fan of that person. So as long as they have the right processes in place, it all works.
One of the things that you taught me was joint ventures, and that was the bulk of the first episode that we touched on. It would be amiss of me not to re-ask you the question. What is the power? What are joint ventures? What is the power of them? And what is one of the most successful ones that you've seen being implemented? It might be yourself, or it might even be another one that you just really love talking about.
Yeah, for sure. So joint ventures, the power of joint ventures is incredible. Before we go into, what is a joint venture, let's make a clear distinction between a partnership and a joint venture. Because I always get this question, I did this joint venture, but the other person didn't do what they said, or whatever, right? I'd say, okay, cool. You assume that it was a partnership. A joint venture is when it's convenient for you. A partnership, if you're in partnership with me, you better be working as hard as I am, or adding as much value as I am, because that is an equal partnership. Whereas a joint venture is, hey, Tim, when it's convenient for you, please promote my business. And if you do promote it, I'm going to give you 10%, I'm going to give you 20%, up to you. But when you promote it, when it fits your schedule, because everybody's got different schedules, different things in their pipeline that's coming up, different marketing angles that they're launching, etc. So if I said, hey, Tim, we're doing a joint venture, I need you to launch next week and tell your entire database about my new product. It's all about me, right? That's not going to work. That's built to fail. Whereas if it's, hey, Tim, when you're ready, whenever you want, here's an affiliate center. Go grab all the emails, grab all the images, send it out at your own time. And if you make any sales, I'll compensate you. Easy as that. So joint venture works well when there's that sort of expectation. One of the best joint ventures when there is an amazing product and it's married to a delivery system or a great database. So I'll give you an example. We've just done a deal with a hotel group. That hotel group, they have all the infrastructure. They have hotels. Their occupancy rate is through the roof because of the current pandemic, etc. And so they need people to come there. So we've done a deal with them saying, hey, if we send people to you, what deal can you do for us? They said, okay, we could do 3 nights, 4 days, at next to nothing. I said, okay, cool. Now we can use those as incentives. So we're not selling the 3 days and 4 nights. I'm saying to people, hey, sign up with my business. And when you do, I'm going to give you a holiday for 3 nights and 4 days at these hotels. To them, it's $1,000 value. To me, I know what I'm buying it at in my cost price, which is next to nothing. And so, but my product is a subscription-based product, so I recoup that 10 times over, right? So that is a joint venture because I don't have to sell that all day long. I can sell it when it's convenient. I can do it whenever it suits me. But they have another 100 or another 1,000 people like me doing the same thing. Therefore, their rooms are getting filled up. They're using alternative guerrilla marketing methods in order to fill up their rooms. That's just one example there.
It's so funny because so many people talk about add value to your purchases, add value to this, but that's actually something tangible of you buy this, you get this. For me, when I help someone start a podcast, if they come on board, they do a one-on-one session with me, I say, well, I'll get you set up in an afternoon. I'll do all your equipment, all that kind of stuff, all your cover art, branding done. That's a Kyoko. I helped Kyoko start her podcast, right? When I did that, you actually looked at it and you said, Tim, I've seen all the value that you gave Kyoko. Again, you're not charging enough, right?
And this is my wife.
Yeah, and this is your wife, right? So you're like, Tim, you didn't charge her nearly as much. I think I drove over and I helped her set up the equipment as well. Like, we did more than just one session. From that, you said, Tim, I've got someone interested in this. I'm going to pitch it to them at 997 and you're going to do this, this, and this. And then from that day, I've been charging 997 for the thing. I was charging 250.
I was going to say, are you happy to tell people that you would charge $250 for that? Now it's 997, and even at that price, you're still
undercharging. Exactly. Yeah. At 997, what I do is I also give them a microphone. This microphone that I'm using right now. Right. The only reason I use this microphone, I could use more expensive equipment and I do have it, but the only reason I use this microphone is this is the one that I give clients. So when I'm on a sales call with them, I can say, well, this is the microphone that I give you as part of your package. That's adding extra value. Again, maybe you and I have this rule together. It's called the Spartacus rule, where you just say Spartacus rule when I'm undercharging. Maybe I'm undercharging again. I don't know.
Hilarious. Awesome. Man.
Yeah. So I want to get into something that's really, really exciting. You have sold your recent business. You recently sold that about probably 6 months ago. Really exciting. Well done. Maybe we could list off the highlights of that sale if you want to. But that sale has freed up your time, your cash flow, and your energy to build Comet Suite. Comet Suite, in my summation, is everything that you wish that you had when you were building businesses to generate leads at a really effective cost, but then all of the software needed to run a successful marketing campaign business. Now, I know I went down two roads here, so let's just quickly go. How did the sale of your business go? Congratulations. I'd love to talk about that for 5 minutes in terms of let's be clickbaity and do the highlights. I know there's a lot of hard work that went into building that business, but so tell me about that.
So the origins of that business. When I built this back in 2012, I built this business to sell mobile apps to nightclubs and to restaurants, right? That's what the idea was. And then I had these people call up one day. Well, I was staying in this building, and anyway, I'll tell you the quick story. Staying in this building, and then I get a piece of paper under my door, and the piece of paper says, "Your windows are getting clean." One sentence. That night, I get another one saying, "Carpets are getting vacuumed." What the hell? After a month, I've got an inch thick of paper sitting on the table, and I went, that's a lot of paper with one sentence on it. So I went to the building manager and said, how much is this costing me? He said, it's $1 per sheet. Now there's 500 apartments in this building. 500 apartments twice a day, $1 per sheet, $1,000 a day, $365,000 problem. So I said to the guy, I said, why don't we build a mobile app for the building? He said, I don't know what that is. We're talking 2012, so 10 years ago. I said, okay, let me show you. So I showed him. I went to Dubai, got their latest technology because they lead the ecosystem in terms of buildings. Came back, reverse engineered it, added in all the Australian standards, etc. Showed it to him. And he said, wow, this is impressive. Let's show the Owners Corp. So we showed it to the Owners Corp. The Owners Corp loved it. They said, we'll have it. I'm walking out of the building, and we sold them a building management system as well. We're walking out the building. He comes chasing me. He says, hey, how much money did you just make? I said, I did all right. He said, what if we partner up? I said, yeah, sure. I'm open to partnership, right? Not joint venture. I said, I'm open to partnership. Let's do it. So we partner up, and over 2 years, we closed about 30 buildings. And that's how the business launched. And then he said, hey, I'm retiring. At the end of that 2 years, I went, retiring? We just got started. Like, we only have 30 buildings. There's like 200 buildings in Melbourne. He said, no, I'm retiring. You can buy the business. So I buy the business, and then I'm sitting there, and I'm going, Jesus, universe, hook me up here. I don't want to go selling this stuff to buildings. And I get a phone call, literally, in 24 hours, I get a phone call with these guys going, we've been trying to copy your technology for the last 2 years. What's it going to take to buy you out or to partner with you? I went, well, thank you, universe. You just answered my prayers. I go and sit down at the table, and with these guys, we meet up. And the last company that they built was $1.2 billion. And I'm like, this is insane. Like, how the hell did I get a seat at this table? And they start telling me about how I'm selling this technology too cheap. So, let's fast forward a little bit. We built it to a $20 million company in 4 years, which was incredible. And so from there, we reached sort of a plateau because our app became a standard in the building industry. And so I've got an entrepreneur's mind. I'm bored. Like, I've systemized the business. It became like ordering a pizza. Hey, Johann, we need another app. This is what it needs. Da, 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 da. Literally, a week later, the app is built and ready to go. And then it just does what it does because it's fully systemized and optimized. So I told the guys, I said, guys, I'm planning to exit. You've got 2 years. Let's plan my exit properly. And so that was in October that my exit, 2 years came up. And that's how I exited. And I went, wow, so that's done. But in the meantime, Comet Suite, you just mentioned Comet Suite came about. So actually, on the 8th of April last year is when I sat down and I had breakfast with Walt. And we were sitting down and we're talking, and I said, hey, how's business? He said, business is good, but I'm just so running around doing 7 different companies. I said, 7 different companies? I said, what are they? And then he told me, and I said, oh my God, dude, did you know that all of these plug into each other? He goes, what do you mean? I said, here's the client journey of product to product to product. And he's like, I've never seen it that way. This is amazing. So that's how it started off. And here we are a year later. We've got Comet Suite. Comet Suite is now going to be platform agnostic, so it'll plug into Infusionsoft, HubSpot, Salesforce, all the major CRMs. We even give them a CRM for free when they sign up if they don't have one. But basically what it does is, remember I said that there were 10 different components in this software. To sell 10 different components takes a lot of brain power for the business owner to process. So the first couple of months of trying to sell this thing was so hard. Hard because every demo that we did, people were blown away. They'd say, this is freaking amazing. You were there. You were one of the first people. And then when I'd call up people and say, hey, it's been 2 weeks. Why have you not signed up? They'd say, I'm going to hire 3 people to focus on building out the software. I went, oh, we've got a problem. So it wasn't until probably about 2 months ago where we nailed the offer. So of those 10, we only focused on one module. And that module is, hey, Tim, I'm going to set up the system to have 1,000 conversations with your ideal clients all day, every day, over the month, right? Not in a day, over the month. And from those 1,000 people, there's going to be 30, 40, 50, 80, depending on what the message is, booking in with you every month. Is that worth $300 to you? The answer is hell yeah, because one client, if you get one client from that, it's more than $300. So it became an irresistible offer. So people just started signing up, which is great, because now we have the other problem. Lots of supply, lots of clients wanting to sign up, and then delivery. So delivery to onboard a person and to get them live was taking us 30 days, which is too much. Now we've systemized it so that it's down to 24 hours to 48 hours maximum to get somebody live. If you say, hey, I need my leads right now, boom, we hook it up, and in 24 hours to 48 hours maximum, you're up, you're live, and leads start coming into your system. Incredible, right? And so at $300 per month, it's an irresistible offer, whereas before we were trying to sell everything, all 10, for $500. In fact, we've now raised the prices to $1,500 for the big package, but we can talk about that later.
A confused mind never makes a decision. A confused mind never buys. Because this tool is something that you wish you had when you built that first business. You could have exited that business probably 5 years earlier if you had Comet. Because of that, I'm assuming that you do what we all do as entrepreneurs. We get really excited about our product and we go, we can do all of this for you. But really, they don't need all of that. I've bought Comet Suite openly for this show. I'm a part of Comet Suite. I haven't bought it for the Calendly setup. I haven't bought it for the the leads yet. I haven't bought it for the social media scheduler. I haven't bought it for the email marketing, the AI copywriting. I've bought it for a very simple reason. One, you've created a mastermind, so that's actually where I'm getting the most value at the moment, ironically. But then the other thing that I've known is I'm scaling at the moment. So I don't have capacity right now, but I'm hiring my first full-time editor. I know that once that person is hired, I'm going to have capacity. How do I fill that capacity? Knock, knock, knock. Hey, Johann, can I start using Comet Suite to its full potential now? Yes, Tim, we'll have 30 appointments booked for you in the next month. My sales percentage right now, I'm closing at 80%. And that's probably because my prices are too low.
Yep.
Or I'm also a good salesperson. But, and clearly I don't have a problem with ego. So I know that if I get in front of it, and this is so many business people's problem, and this is where I'll ask a question. So many business people say, if I get in front of the right customer and I have the right conversation with them, I know that 100% of the time or 90% of the time they will buy. So half the battle with your marketing is getting in front of the right people. How does Comet Suite get you in front of the right people?
Easy. Most people don't know who the right people are. When you know who the right people are, you just literally type it into the software. We had a person the other day, they're a physiotherapist, and they typed in CEOs in Melbourne who've had a broken hamstring. Boom. The entire list of every person who's ever talked about their broken hamstring on any social media or any website is populated. And it shows you their LinkedIn, their phone number, their website, their address, their stuff. And you can send them a message and say, hey, James, I know that you had a broken hamstring. Just letting you know, we've got these 3-minute exercises which can strengthen your leg back to its normal busted hamstring. Here's a video. Watch it. It goes for 3 minutes. I hope it adds some value to you, and I hope you recovered quickly. What does that do? Creates a point of engagement. Allows them to build a relationship, because the person, after they watch it, what's going to happen? They're going to know this person. If they deliver the value, they're going to like this person. And if they see results from this, they're going to trust this person. And at the bottom of that video, it says, would you like to receive more little 1-minute videos to help you heal? Of course, if I've had a busted hamstring, I'm going to say, yes, show me. Show me how to get stronger. 1 minute? I've got 1 minute. So I click on the button. Automatically, I'm now added to a list, which every day I'm getting these videos. It doesn't have to be every day, every week. But the point of that is you're now engaged with me. You're building that know, like, trust. And now we have a relationship, whether you like it or not. It's just like social media. You watch all these people who don't know that you're watching them, but you have a relationship with them because you're watching them every day, right? And so when you watch people, you start to know, like, trust them, and then you're open to having a conversation with them. So that's essentially the first part of Comet, is that communicate, identifying exactly who you want to talk to. And I'm not talking about thousands of people. There's the Dream 100 concept, who my mentor, Chet Holmes, coined. And he talks about, in this world, you literally need either 100 people or 100 companies that's going to service your business and make it, a multi-million or multi-billion-dollar company. That's what, at the end of the day, if you could find those 100 of your Dream 100 clients, that's all you'll ever need. In that company that I said we took from 0 to 20 million in 4 years, we only achieved 40 out of the 100 that we wanted to get to a $20 million company, right? It's a very, very powerful system. So use Comet to build the relationships, have an irresistible offer, close them, convert them into clients, get them to refer more business to you, and your business is going to start turning into an ecosystem. So that's just part one of what it can do. As I said, there's 10 different modules in there, right?
Very cool. The thing that I picked up on there, though, and the way that you were describing that, because so many people, so Comet is effectively artificial intelligence that finds you leads, and then reaches out to those leads to book appointments, has a conversation, books them in, right? What people could do is they could start to get lazy, and they could start to look at that and go, all right, I'm going to spam 10,000 people. But the thing is, we won't allow that, right? Because your things are powerful. This is one of my mentors, Stephen Thomas, wrote Business Networking for Dummies. I have his book here because I like to show it off, and just it's a good read. I need to introduce you to Stephen, by the way. He'll probably be listening to this podcast because I will send it to him. Hey, Steph, how you doing? Stephen says the real opportunity is most people won't bother. The real opportunity is when someone looks at an artificial intelligence system like yours, they will be lazy and they'll just bulk email people and they'll get no response. But what you're saying is don't use the artificial intelligence to be lazy, use the artificial intelligence to give yourself a leg up, and then bring the human element back to the AI. Now that's my description of it. I would love for you to expand on what I'm saying.
Yeah, man, 100%. So as I said, you can use the artificial intelligence to sort through all that information of who that ideal client is. I could go to Google and I could spend hours and find their name, their email, their phone number, who they work with, all those sorts of things, their reviews, etc. But it would take me hours. Here, in a matter of seconds, you've got an entire database of your ideal clients. Now, I will then go in and look at their LinkedIn profile. I will take notes and say, hey, Tim was filming at this event. So now when I messaged him, what am I going to say? Hey, Tim, I noticed you were filming at blah. How did it go? Did you meet anybody interesting? By the way, I also know this person. Would you like me to make an introduction? What am I doing? I'm adding value to you. Are you going to reply to that email? Yes. So if I had to do 100 of those emails and you were my ideal client, that's one done out of 99, right? That's the whole concept, is building real relationships. Use the AI to find them. You can use it to start initiating the conversation, because you can tick the little button and it will have a conversation saying, hey, Tim, how's it going? Checking in. And it can have some sort of targeted to your, so I could talk to you about, hey, you know what, Tim, I help agencies just like yours scale to blah, 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 blah. Here's a case study video that goes for 90 seconds on how we scaled another video editing company. Would you click on that? It's 90 seconds. The answer is yes, because it piques your curiosity. It's speaking to you. You click it, you watch it. What happens after you watch it? There's a call to action saying, here's another demo, but it goes for 15 minutes. Now you click on that, you watch that for 15 minutes. Now you're getting to know and like me and trust me. But what's happening in the background is the AI is saying, Tim is now watching this one. Tim is now watching the 15-minute video. Tim is now reading the article. Tim is doing this. So in the morning when my sales team wakes up, they can look at the pipelines and understand and see who is really interacting. So they're really hot leads. Give Tim a call. And they call Tim and go, Tim, what do you think? I know that you watched the video. How'd you go? Oh, yeah, it was great. Do you have any, why is your business not scaling right now? Or whatever the conversation is. Now you're having a real conversation with that person, and then you're more likely to close them because they've already shown you results in advance and shown you that they can help. And then you've run out of excuses because you know that they can help. You've seen it.
Yeah, amazing. And again, it's another Stefan thing. Again, I should introduce you guys. Stefan says spot buying signals. Spot the buying signals. If someone watches 4 of your videos, that is a buying signal. They're interested, and you said it there in your thing. Pick up the phone and call them. Stefan has been using another software called Candy, which it shows you when people are on your website. I'm sure Comet has a similar thing because it shows you when people are watching the video. If someone's on your website and you notice that they were there 20 minutes ago and you're not doing anything, you pick up the phone and go, hey man, just checking in. 100% of the time they will go, holy, what the universe is speaking to me. I was just on your website. See, I've been cold calling was my first job. I used to call, get hung up on. I've been on the search for when you call someone, they go, holy crap, I've been meaning to talk to you.
100%.
That's what Comet does.
So the tracking is so good, you can tell when someone's opening up your email, when someone's watching the video. What I do, instead of calling them, is I'll send them a text. Hey, was thinking about you, just thought I'd let you know, how's blah, blah, blah going? Because people are now more likely to reply via text than answer the phone. Back 10 years ago, we were excited to call somebody or to receive a call. In fact, I used to have different ringtones for different friends. Now my phone has one ringtone, which is silent. No one can get through to me. I don't want calls, right? Unless I see the thing blinking and I want to answer it. But if somebody texts me, I'll reply back. It's my real-time communication. And so when you text people, which Comet can also do, it sounds like a big infomercial for Comet, by the way, but anyway, it can do everything.
In transparency, yeah, I wanted you to come on and talk about this tool, right? Because it's something that I know you wish you had when you build businesses. I'm really excited in context. So I like that you said it sounds like an infomercial, but this is actually super interesting because the tech, there's nothing else out there like this. And so I've kind of, like that's I wanted to kind of give you the space to talk about this stuff. So
Thanks, man.
All good.
I appreciate it.
Yeah,
and
if you were if you're too infomercially and you were screen sharing, and that's where I tell you to slow down. But nah, yeah, the tech is fascinating. Yeah.
It is. It's. And as you said it's the tech that I wish that I had, which I will implement in all my companies because it just condenses all of our communication into one area. Socials in one area, communication with clients, whether via SMS, email, phone. Every phone call that our sales team has is recorded. if I want to, if my salesperson leaves, I can sit there and I can listen to every call that they've had so I know where this client is up to. It's great for quality assurance. It's all built into the system. So yes, it is literally the system I wish I had 10 years ago when I first started my business. Well, actually, it's more than that now. But
sorry, we won't make you feel old.
Thanks, man. Cool. So what other questions you got for me?
I think that's a really good spot to actually leave it on. I actually want to have you back as a part 2, maybe next month to go back into business authorities and what you've been up to there and that kind of stuff as well. But I think, this was a really good spot to leave it on. My last question for you is, I got 2 more. What are your goals for this year? As big and ridiculous and amazing as it sounds, what is it? And how do you think you're going to get there?
Awesome, cool. So we always build with the end in mind. So the end in mind is building Comet to a $100 million company. And that's what the goal is. How are we going to build it to 100 million? We've got some strategies in place. By the end of the year, we want to get to 5,000 users. 5,000 business owners who are using it, loving it, getting so much value out of it that it's making them a 10 to 100 times ROI. And then through that, we'll talk about B1G1. We want to give back to B1G1, impact more lives. And at the end of the day, that's the purpose of why humans are here. That's what I believe. We're here for a very short time. While we're here, while we have the privilege of living in a beautiful country like Australia, you want to be able to help as many people as you can, and business is the way to do it. Because through business, you have the potential to help so many more people.
Do you have a quote, a phrase, a saying, something when you hear it, it really resonates with you, or when you say it to people, they go, "Whoa, okay, that's really cool." What's that for you?
Awesome, cool. One of my favorite quotes, which my father had told me since I was young, which is always at the top of my mind, is, "Any man can stand in the face of adversity. To see a true man's character, give him power." And the purpose of that is to stay humble, because when you have everything that you could ever want, that's when your true nature comes out. And that's where you see people for who they are.
Amazing. Johann, mate, thank you so much for coming back on. I want to have you back on for part 2. Maybe we should do that one in person. And mate, I've been Tim, you've been Johann, we've been talking. Thanks for being the expert that shared your blueprint today.
A pleasure, man. I'll talk to you soon. See you. Bye.